Great morning, everybody. It's that time. So, my man won and gave reverence to God. I mean, come on. Chance the Rapper put it out, man. I'm so happy to see that Chance the Rapper. My son called me, so it was a great time yesterday, man. Aside from being, with Dr. Thomas, and I'll get to that here shortly. But yeah, man, definitely a great time yesterday. To walk in, me and my wife went to Barnes and Noble, got some new information, some new content to feed ourselves. But nonetheless, like just walking out of there, and my son calling me, he's like, "Dad, Chance the Rapper won," and he was just excited. My son's a big Chance the Rapper fan, and it was cool, man. I'm so happy for the man. He's done and he's doing great things, and I believe with all my heart, an individual like this that has found a lane, that has found an absolute lane, and is dominating that lane. You get what I'm saying? Like, he's the only independent rapper that has found an absolute lane, and he's just driving hard on that lane. I mean, all his content is free. I mean, you get what I'm saying? Like, yo, here's an individual, a rapper that is putting out free content, and the only thing that he charges is when he does like engagement, or when he does, when he goes and does shows. Now, the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because here's an individual that got up at the Grammys last night and was like, yo, thanking God. He put the best for last, and he gave it all, like at that moment, you know what I'm saying? And so that is rich. That to me is rich, absolutely rich. But let's go ahead and get on, man. There's no sugar in my coffee. Yeah, it's a little displacement. It is a little different not being in the studio, not being in the lab. As he always says, he's always talking about being in the lab, but it's a little different. But you know what? The show must go on, yeah? So I appreciate you guys being on. Greg DeWalker, Rachel, I appreciate you guys being on this morning. I know it's kind of early, especially out here on the West Coast. It's 4:37 on the West Coast, so it's a little different. Nonetheless, I appreciate you guys being on. So I want to go ahead and get into it. First, I want to show you a couple new informative content that I was able to pick up with E. This one right here is by Eric Thomas and Associates. This is publication. This is a great book, and I know it's really going to be impacting for me, especially with the challenges that anybody's ever gone through in life, and know that they're just very minimized when it comes to a loved one that's getting, that you're watching pass, you know what I'm saying? So this book is really based on just having that confidence and that trust that there's a lot of things going on, the trials and tribulations that you go through, that, you know what, you can still get through it. You got to have a lot of faith, a lot of trust. All right. And then my man, Willie Moore Jr., he had an outstanding performance last night. And if you can get this book at Barnes & Noble, if you can get this book on Amazon, if you can get this book through ETA, then get it. It's about relationship building. And so, good morning, Mike. Good morning. Let's get into it, man. So yesterday was more exceptional than the best weekend I've ever had with my wife. And why I say that is because most weekends is spent around our family. A lot of it's spent around, doing things as a family. And it's been almost, and I know this doesn't sound crazy, but it's been almost about 15 years that we've been able to do something together, just her and I, and just see the chemistry between husband and wife really truly resonate. And don't get me wrong, because our relationship is really strong. It's really committed. It's really faithful. But just to do something outside of our normal activities, you get what I'm saying? Like, this was that opportunity where, I took my wife for her first time to go see Dr. Eric Thomas last year. But this was a different style, an absolute different feeling. You get what I'm saying? And I know that everybody was definitely welcome to watch it. And I'm absolutely happy that I was able to record a lot of it and share that content for you guys. But last night, it was a straight up no filming policy. And I totally respect that in everything, because the information that is displayed is for you to get engaged in. Like, you got to come to an event. You get what I'm saying? Like, you have to actually come to the event. that I do event, the marriage conference, and really see exactly what there is that you can gain from it. Because for me, even being a leader in my own home, even being a husband for 17 years, like when E asked how many people had been married for so many years, I mean, there were only two other couples aside from staff, aside from Dr. Eric Thomas and Dee, that have been married 27 years. But I mean, mostly everybody's only been married like 2, 5, maybe 10 years. There wasn't that many couples that were married more than 10 years. But my wife and I were married 17 years, and then another couple were married 20 years. Are you get what I'm saying? Like that right there just spoke a lot of life. It spoke a lot of life at that given moment yesterday. It spoke a lot of life. Like, wow. I mean, out of the thousands of people that were in there, everybody married less than 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I was just like blown away by that, because that just showed a statistic of how many people don't really take time to really cherish those moments. We don't put enough effort into it. And so you've seen the title. The title is plain as day. The title is plain as day. My title for this morning's show is plain as day. Everybody that knows me knows and has been following me for a long time knows that I'm absolutely raw. I'm absolutely real. I don't beat around the bush with you. I'm gonna tell you like it is. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that ever uses my services, I'm gonna tell you like it is. I'm gonna point you in the right direction. I promise you that. But last night was that. It was absolutely raw information that Dr. Eric Thomas, the ETA family, have put together, along with collaboration with other individuals like Willie Moore. But it was unwinding to see just the things that I have to fix as a husband. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I know that I need, as a man and as a husband, I need to put more time into my wife. Like, say, hey, babe, once a month, you know what? Me and you we're taking flight. Like, we got to go. Like, we're thinking about going to Atlanta for the next show, for the next event with ET. Or maybe back to Detroit to go visit Dr. Eric Thomas and family, you know what I'm saying, and kick it with them. But I'm saying, like, I gotta separate time, because I'm always so involved. I mean, last year was different, but I was always so involved with our business and with creating more business, and staying very active with different things with our family, that I didn't separate time. So, I mean, this event really helped to make a greater definition of how to separate my time, to make a better standard for my wife, and because that's the reality. Is like, I have spent so much time building my business and still building my business, our business, and then working on the dealership too. And then I was coaching for such a long time. And now that coaching is absolutely the back door now, a lot of it's now surrounded around the family. I mean, I express this to a lot of people. People that know my testimony know that I was given 6 years of sacrificing my family just to coach sports and at different levels. But I had to park the brakes, because all that time is lost, and now it's time to gain. You get what I'm saying? Like, I was being a great mentor, a great coach, but I really wasn't being the greatest husband. I wasn't being the greatest father. And so now my fervent prayer is continuous. Like, I want to be the best father. I want to be the best husband. I want to be the best mentor, the best coach. You get what I'm saying? Like, so this is my avenue. This is my lane. And in 7 years of transforming, that has been undaunting. I'm serious. Like, this is what I truly want. This is my passion. This is my why. And E, along with other individuals, have really pointed that out to me. Like, I really want to. I really want to get more involved in spending that quality time with my wife once a month. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I looked at my wife. We got in the car yesterday. I was like, babe, I almost wanted to break down and cry. Like, I was at that point. Like, I wanted to break down and cry, because there was something that E said, and I'll express it to you here shortly. But there was something that E said that really serenaded, just resonated deep in my heart. Like, wow. I grabbed my wife's leg, and I cringed her leg, because I was like, yeah, this, you know what? Yeah, I need to make more time for my wife. I make so much time for my family. We always have a lot of family time, but I need to separate. And, he said, when the kids were gone, that's when they went, they go bananas together, him and Dee Dee, you know what I mean? And I see the happiness in E and in Dee Dee. And I see the true chemistry, you know what I'm saying? And there's just so much love, so much respect and generosity just between each other, and I can only express, like, when you see their smile, you see their face, you see nothing but support, you see nothing but love, you see nothing but faith, you see nothing but respect, you know. And I of course, 17 years being married, I do give that to my wife, but there's also separation. Like when Dee Dee says, hey, it's time to do something together, E's like, okay, business off, everything shuts down, and they go. You know what I'm saying? Oh, when E has decided, like, hey, Dee Dee, I want you to come with me on a flight, or I want you to come with me on this event, everything stops. Like, and Dee Dee, just listening to what she expressed last night was she's very busy. You know, even through her sickness, she's been very busy. But you can see the smile, the joy of love, the joy of God that's just bestowed upon them and their family, and that family. You know, that love. Yeah, it was a great time. It was the most exceptional time. What's up, Jay Wood? What's going down? It was an exceptional time that me and my wife really needed to get involved in. And I got to get one thing that really hit home for me too. That impacted me is now that I'm generating that residual income and working again is get back with BU. For anybody that's watching, you know, my biggest recommendation, my biggest plea with you is to get engaged with the community that supports you. And what I mean by that, ever since my beginning in 2010 when I started following Dr. Eric Thomas, and ever since my beginning of being a part of BU, I can tell you straight up with all my heart that it's a strong community that really supports you. I get up every single Friday, I'm on a conference call. I get up every single Saturday, I'm on a conference call. And everybody that knows me, has been following me long enough, know that Coach Sagasta is either up at 2:30 or he's up at 3 o'clock. But I'm always up early because I never want to steal time from my family. That was one thing that really, 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 really hit home for me, because I took that challenge, what, 3 years? Yeah. 3 years ago, I took that challenge, like, I'm going to wake up early. I've always been an early riser, but I said, I'm going to sacrifice my sleep. I'm going to sacrifice that time. I'm going to discipline myself. And it's just been a 365-day process all the time. Like, and I get up and I just download content. I download content into my brain, you know. And I think it's very important, as I expressed to you, this is the roadmap, is number one, you need these are the tools, these are the conditioning tools that you absolutely need to do in order to build that great marriage, that great relationship. And I take these three from E, and I add an additional 2. I love the number 5 and I love the number 7. But I'm gonna display it like this. E said compassion, and I ultimately, when he said compassion, I know that I give my true compassion to my family. I give my compassion to my wife. You know, through all the things that we have been through, like, you know, I mean, 17 years, man. You know what I'm saying? 17 years of being married to the same woman. And through all our trials and tribulations. I mean, you know, I know that there's couples out there that have gone through some things, but I mean, man, you know, the early stage of our marriage was like, it was catastrophic, man. Like, straight up, it was like an atomic bomb going off because I wasn't ready for marriage. You get what I'm saying? Like, and he said some things last night about that compassion that really serenaded really well with my heart and my soul. Like, yo, I need to be more compassionate, especially after the things that I've done. Like, he said, if you had a magic wand to do anything, what would it be? What would you take away? If you had a magic wand and you could wave it and you could take something away, you could erase something from your marriage, what would it be? I said, my past. Like, I want to erase my past. I don't want, you know what I mean, the things that I did to my marriage in the early stage, I want that to be gone. Like, I would erase that moment. You get what I'm saying? Like, and just fill it with that love that we have today and all the years that we've been building together today. But I always want to definitely put more compassion into my family, more compassion into my children. He said something last night that really moved me too, and that was, you know, giving more time to your kids. You know what I mean? And that's one thing straight up. I need to get more. Like, he really hit home with that. Like, that was out of the park. He really hit home with that. And I know that I, as a father, as a leader in my home, you know, I do a lot for my kids, but I need to do more. I need to do more. I need to spend one-on-one time with each individual. And I had a pastor that used to do that all the time. Like their birthdays, it was special. It was a special day. It was a timeout out of everything in the day, and he would take each kid on their birthday and just do something absolutely buck wild with them, just absolutely out of the ordinary. You get what I'm saying? And I seen that in E, and that really hit home for me. And that was true compassion. That was real, genuine compassion. All right. And the next one is a communication. That's one thing that me and my wife really share really strong with in the 17 years. It's been work. It's been a process. It's communication, proper communication. And the only thing that my wife has ever done, and I'm gonna air out her laundry, then I'll air out my laundry. But if she doesn't leave her phone on, or you get what I'm saying? Like her phone's on vibrate sometimes, a lot of times. And I'm like, babe, I tried calling you. Like, yo, I tried getting a hold of you. Like I tried texting you. You didn't answer. What's going on? Why do you got a phone? You got a phone, but you don't answer it. And vice versa. For me, sometimes my phone will ring and I won't answer. And it's not that it's not on vibrate. It's just it's on, and sometimes I pick it up and I'm in the middle of something, or I'm in the process of creating something, and I just don't pick it up. So there's a difference, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, ultimately, I'm gonna be 120 with you. There's proper communication in my marriage. There's proper communication in my family, and it's been a process. Like you know, I mean, she was 16 years old. I was 18. Like, yo, we got married at a young age. At a very young age. And so we've gone through some things. I mean, we had to build this communication. We had to build this happiness. You know what I'm saying? We had to build this relationship. And one thing that I want to tell you about or share with you about that communication. And Willie set it up like this. He says the proper communication or the proper term. Instead of happily ever after, it should be happily forever, beyond. You know, and with that communication, it's beyond. It's like it's always a process. It's beyond just saying hi or good morning. It's beyond that. You know what I'm saying? It's saying I love you. It's saying it's saying prayers together. It's saying, you know, hey, let's sit down and eat together. It's just different things that you communicate with. All right. And then number 3 that really hit home for me was standard. As I said earlier, I said building that standard. You know, me and my wife have really set some ground rules for standards, because many years I used to drink. Many years I used to chew tobacco. Many years I used to cuss like a sailor. You know what I'm saying? Nothing against sailors, but I'm just saying, like, I had a bad potty mouth. You know what I'm saying? I had a negative thought. I had a negative mind. I had a pornographic mind. I had a mind of lust and vanity and vain. But like we set up a standard in our family. We set up a standard in our house. And my kids live by that standard. You know, when I said, we were sitting down eating last night together, me and my wife, and I said, babe, I said, you know, I think one of the things that, you know, I see us as a family, like we need to have separate time together. And my wife says to me, babe, but we've always been a family. We've always done things as a family. We don't do too many things outside of a family. I said, I know, but you know what? We need to. I said, because one thing that I picked up from Dee Dee and from E is they have a separation time. Like their kids are in college now, but you know what? Hey, when they say, hey, me and mom are going out, they go out. You get what I'm saying? Like, and so I asked my son and wife, I said, babe, that's that standard. Like they need to know, our kids need to know, like, because we have spent so much time with our family and building that time with our family, that it is now the time that we separate, we make a time out and we do something together as you and I, as a couple, because it's important. It's that healthy relationship, if you might. And, you know, ultimately the family will still be there, but our kids will see that. So we set up a standard. Our kids will definitely see that. And so they'll mimic it. You know what I'm saying? They'll repeat it. And so I definitely held that really deep in, because I know that I definitely need to make sure of that. How can I be as I express with a lot of people, how can you be a leader if you can't even lead your own home? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, and for me to step up to another bracket, to take it to another level, is by doing that, setting up a different standard just for me and my spouse. You know what I'm saying? Because anybody and everybody, like Eve pointed out, the greats have had great marriages. They built the marriage. You know what I'm saying? They built that pyramid of success of a marriage, of a true relationship. And I think that's golden. I'm serious. That's really golden to see. Aside from that, you know, I'm gonna add that listening portion. You know what I'm saying? I think ultimately, besides communication and setting up the standard, is having a great listening ability. You know, my wife said to me yesterday, she said, "Babe, you're not listening." But the waitress said something last night, and it's hard for me sometimes to pick up on certain things because I can only hear out of one ear. So sometimes it is a little difficult. I try my hardest to attain to listening to what is all being said around me. But I mean, for my wife, she was like, "Babe, you're not listening. Didn't you hear E? You're not listening." I was like, "Oh, okay, you got jokes." So it was a great time, man. Definitely, I appreciate that time. So listening is another skill, another trait that you want to put into your marriage, your relationship. The roadmap. If you've seen the title is the roadmap. And what I meant by that roadmap towards having a great, healthy relationship. Even what I'm saying is, like, even those people that are dating right now, that are thinking about marriage in the future, or even those people right now that are in a marriage, or those people that are single, that are looking for the right mate, it's out there. You know what I'm saying? And my wife brought it to my attention last night. She's like, "Babe," she's, "our kids are gonna have to go through so much difference because today all we seen was couples that were at the dinner tables last night. They were doing this. No communication, no listening, just texting." You know what I'm saying? And if I could plead with you, if I could recommend anything, hey, when you go to dinner, that's your time, like you and your spouse's time. If you're with your family, then you and your family time. None of that. You know what I'm saying? Set the standard. Set a standard for yourself. Set an example for your family and for others around you. You get what I'm saying? Like that's how you want to be remembered. That's how legends were remembered. So I mean, listening. You got listening standard. You got communication. You got compassion, and just happiness. Last but not least, is build happiness. You know, how do you build happiness? By putting those different traits into your relationship. How do you build happiness? But you know what? Happiness is built by what you put into it. And one of the things that he basically was saying last night was make it an investment. You know what I'm saying? So many people buy new things. They buy different things. But think about your investment that you have with you. You know what I'm saying? And I'm serious. These are investments. Every single content that I've ever downloaded, anything I've downloaded in my mind, any event I've ever gone to, it's investing. Bringing my family to this, bringing my wife to this event was an investment. So that's my last one is an investment. Making an investment. You know what I'm saying? Make it a great one. Had a great time seeing a lot of BU family. As I said, I got to get back involved with my BU family. It's been a minute. And I know it's missed, it's deeply missed. I do miss seeing the community of great people. I'm serious. When I put it out there and I express it, you know, understand that BU is a community of information. Like you don't just, how could I put this? You don't just get bits and pieces of information when you join BU. You get what I'm saying? Here's the atomic bomb. You get everything. Like you don't just get a little small nugget. You get the diamond farm. You get what I'm saying? So it's acres of diamonds when you join BU. And what I mean by that is there's content. There's a bunch of content. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, told you I had to make it what it is, right? But there's a bunch of content. There's atmosphere of great young-minded individuals. I'm saying, like, you know, culture. Diverse, you know what I'm saying? Diverse. As I expressed with you just earlier this morning is, you know, getting up on Friday, joining the conference call. For me, it's 6 o'clock in the morning. Over there, East Coast, it's 8 o'clock. And then Saturday, doing it with Pierre, you know what I'm saying? And just engaging. Like, how do you expect to build a healthy relationship if you're not building yours too? You know what I'm saying? You got to build within. Because, I mean, you can't change the world if you can't change your own world. So I recommend anybody that hasn't joined BU, join up. I mean, it's the greatest investment. Believe me when I tell you, it's the greatest investment that you could ever make is joining a community that supports you, that you can call on. Like, yo, I'm serious. Like me and my wife, if we go to Atlanta, if we go to you know, New York, we got family. Like, hey, you know, Rob, I'm coming to New York, man. Or Rob, I'm coming into Virginia, or anybody like that, you know what I'm saying? Jenny, hey, I'm coming down to Florida, hey, I'll be in Colorado. Anybody, any place, hey, let's have dinner, let's hook up. You know what I'm saying? it's just a great community of folks. And I definitely I appreciate BU. I appreciate the whole ETA family and the hospitality that they've always been very welcoming, always. And that's that Southern hospitality. You know what I'm saying? I love that. I appreciate that so much. But I appreciate you guys. Thank you guys so much for sharing. Thank you guys so much for this opportunity. I know that we're out of the realm of being in the lab. It's quite different, but you know what? The show must go on. I can't wait to spend the rest of the day with my wife down here in California before we head back to Arizona, the desert, and we're gonna do some things. I think we're gonna stop down in. I think we're gonna stop and have dinner up in what's that place called? Indio. I think we're gonna stop in Indio and have dinner up there. I know the owner over there, and I've been meaning to get over there and have some bomb food. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I thank you so much for sharing the video. I thank you guys so much for being on. Have a great and beautiful day. Make the rest of the week the best of your week. And hey, if anything, make it a masterpiece. Always make it a masterpiece. I'm out of here.